Hi there, let's have a little chat, and I tried to do a demonstration here. This is about charging objects and things you do after you are in a ritual and you want to do magic and charge a candle or a crystal or whatever it is. But I come from the martial arts actually in the early 80s, so I got connected to the Qi then, and then a shaman. It is natural, everybody has it, so it's not something supernatural or something. I see it as my blood flow. So if I do weight training, I know that when I really pull the muscles and feel them, that the blood pumping, that is the Qi moving around my body. So it is just different words for the same thing, I think. And since I had really bad accidents in my youth, and then 3 years ago, I woke up one morning and I couldn't feel my right arm or my right leg. I touched them with my other hand and they were ice cold. So there was some hard thing up there and my lymph nodes wake. So I was on crutches. I still use crutches some bad days, but hopefully to 90% I'm just using one crutch right now, so it's getting better. So I'm going to show you how I started, as I know there are some others who might have disabilities or also have suffered. So I show you a lot of variations here to get it going. And I created a playlist with exercises for Magick, and that is from if you are seated in a wheelchair or laying on your bed up to if you want to go up towards more the martial art thing. And also a meditation of the microcosmical orbit that goes round and with a Qi. So let's start now how I do this. I'm stiff in the morning, but I start this. So I knock myself up on the couch just to wake myself up. My whimsical head, I have to remind it that this is spiritual practice for me, and then I knock myself a little bit on the forehead there. And then I usually stand up and my feet are flat on the ground, but you can do it in bed. I did this in bed. So I just put something that my toes were against the panel of the bed. So let's start. So we go from here and breathe out and get the energy moving. Oh, I'm stiff. You can hear my. And now, since I got to work a little bit harder, I do this. Arm don't want to come. There's a little bit of stiffness here, but just to loosen up and get things going. Your whole body is filled with blood, and I see the energy as my blood flow. So let's start. Here are the centers I always used, and the shaman in Finland, the Sami shaman, he also used this. He tickled me with a feather here, so I was very sensitive as a kid, so I could start it that way. And if you can, I can do it with one hand, and you can also use the pressure like this, but I can't really bend that. There's a simple difference there. So I make do with doing like this to activate them. I'm a little bit brutal, so I really wake them up here. And the same with that one. This hand is easier. And now I will, with my little fingers, pinkies or what are they called, I smack them as well. So now they start to waken up. Then I go to the palm, or this part of the hand. And here's my favorite part. This is the fingers. And it feels like small needle points, for me at least. So now my hands are working here. And now we go into this. You can also clap your hands and be really. This is good for charging candles, but I can't do it since the flames reach the roof and I charge candles with this kind of energy. So this is more if I want to heal a plant or something that they need that extra boost. And now it's burning between my fingers. And now here we have this ball of magnetic electricity that is from our life force. And since I pull only energy from the skies or the angelical realm, and I have my feet or I sit down and just and you can feel, I feel a magnetic pull towards my hand. Sometimes that might take a little bit while, and it can feel like a tingling or heat. Some feel it cold. There are many ways to feel this. And now let's play. Let's push the ball from side to side, keeping in connection. So now we can feel the ball here. If you can visualize, you can visualize it in different colors. And now let's breathe and make it stronger. We are forcing the energy in more and more. And if you have any special breathing exercise, it doesn't matter which it is, you just keep on doing what feels good for you. And then we can start to change and rotate. And then you can make it with your breathing and intention, you can make it really big. And if you're not doing magic, you can apply this ball of energy to the part of a body that needs healing. It gives warmth and strength. So, but for the sake of it, I would have had the object here really, this energy ball, but we are doing here, so let's see. So let's see that this would be on the table and I had my both hands here, and this is my lapis lazuli, so let's say that I charge it with psychic energy to all of you here. And you can project it like that. With one hand if it's healing for a human being, or you can press it down and go up first and really work the energy ball and press more and more and more energy as well as you breathe. And people who practice with giving life to statues, they can do this for long periods of time, so the statue is filled with energy. And often in paganism, like a Hecate statue or something like that. With angelical, they stand on my altar. I don't do angelical charging for a statue. Why should I? They come and go as they please, and it's a sacred thing, so I don't use magic on that. I don't have to charge anything for them. And now this is charged. And let's check out how this goes. I'm just doing, let's see here. We got quite a lot of energy going on here. And I'm not even doing it properly. So we are charging this with electrical, with psychic energy for you. The lapis lazuli. Oh. So that was just a demonstration of it. And what can I say more about the vocation? The reason to do evocation, for me at least, is when I start a new ritual, when I create a new book. But in my daily practice, in the beginning, you go through the angels. You work with one. At first, usually you just make a request. Evocation comes later. But when you are dedicated yourself and you know that this is what you want to do, let's say after a couple of years or something, then you need to do a full evocation of the angels, since they are going to, the sigil that you've written, you will hold it like that to them and they will put their energy into that sigil so it comes alive. And that time they might also, those who have good astral vision, they make a pen, and that is the shortcut, and that means like that you have a mobile number to reach them, so you don't have to perform a full ritual for that angel anymore. So that's why you work with the purification and that, and I did that to create the book that I show you, both the Enochian and the other books with the angels, so I had permission to show them. With that in mind, to teach, so I evoked all of them for that book. And then I do evocation, but if I do evocation for a place in need or a country in need, that would say that I call upon the 72 Shem. That is not an evocation. I call upon the 22 angels of the 22 letter name. I can call on the angels of the 42 letter name, the 72 letter name, which is the Shem, or an archangels. So in that case I might take Michael, evocation for Michael, but I don't evoke the rest of them. And then, of course, in that case, you have the full circle cast with Gabriella, Michael, and Uriella, Raphael. So, and I don't, in my daily practice, I don't cast LBRP myself. I do the Kabbalistic cross. Now I'm sitting facing the wrong direction here. But I just, so you understand, let's pretend that that is not that I'm looking at. So I say, before me, Uriel. And he's so huge, he's in the universe somewhere. And the world is like a small thing. And there are those beams of light that come in and enter through my heart. And that connects me backwards to Raphael. And behind me, Raphael. And the connection is like that, and it extends out of the universe. And then on my right, I have Michael, and that energy goes straight into my heart through the sides, and Gabriel up there. And then here are some variations about people do it. Some say that above me, Metatron, and they call on Metatron, and some take a sandal form from beneath, so you have 6 there, and then you relax into that with all those angels. And then I met people who do the 4 angels, but then they call upon, let's say, Virgin Mary or some Christ or. But when you do a Kabbalistic working, I wouldn't call upon any pagan deities. They don't mix really. They know each other in the spiritual realms, but just in a simple daily ritual, why mix? So I think that is about all about the questions and making tools. It doesn't have to be perfect. They are not perfect, and they don't have to be exactly like on the millimeter to be workable. You use what you have and make the best of it after your understanding. And each old grimoire has a different color. Some use different colors, others and different measurements. But when you start out, you can use chalk or just draw in the sand or on the floor, or put a rope around and put something. You can use masking tape or, let's see, a tape like that, and tape it on the floor, just so you know you have the triangle there and it's visible. And since the more you practice, the more you learn, so you can try out if there's the energy of the circle, like with these hands. Is there? You can try it upwards and to the floor, and so on. That it is. So it is all about practice. And what more can I say? And when you get the downloads from invoking, calling upon, and making requests, they can happen. Sometimes there might be something instantly, yes or a no. Otherwise, it takes weeks, sometimes months, to understand what the whole message was. And it grows up from there. So if you constantly call on, if you're new on the path and you want to have powers, and you call on all angels at once, that don't give you anything. It just makes you unsteady. So work with one angel at a time. And when you start doing the Kabbalistic cross, if you haven't done it, or the LBRP, give it at least, try, I know that nobody does it, but try to give it 3 months, let's say, since the element of air, earth, water and fire, they are all challenging aspects of you that you have to face the shadow work. So if you put on too much in one go, you will have so much shadow work going on. So that's not really the best thing, to attack every angel you know the name of and calling upon them. You can always make, that's why I often recommend that, make to know the angels, even if they are far out of their reach and you read the book that you shouldn't be calling about these angels, that they are so high up in the hierarchy, so I'm not worthy or whatever it is. Make a request that is their office. Just say that you want to help, let's say, Africa. Send a prayer, call upon the 22 angel of the 22 letter name, and read Psalm 119 completely and send out that request. You can do the same with Shem. Take one and say, please protect that school or that child or that family or a country or whatever is happening. And if there's earthquake somewhere, there are plenty of angels who work with the weather. You have to just study up what the offices are, and that gives you the kind connection. That isn't that upfront, I want to manifest or learn this, but that is that you learn to recognize the energy of that angel and you put your ego second. So that makes that there is not that backlash that sometimes can come. So if you want to really practice on calling upon angels and learn, for the first, if you're introducing yourself to an angel, please try to make it at least 11 days. And let's see, when did Vevalia ask me to work with Aniel? I think that was 2 months ago. We are still working together, so every day. So when they are teaching you, that period of time can go on for years. So that means that in my own personal life, since I call upon my Shem, Hesiel, Vevalia and Nememia for myself, and then I call upon Menadel and Aniel now. So that means that they are every day. And that is that simple short ritual, let's say 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes per angel. And with Aniel I work for a longer period of time, since that's when I do the Vevalia wanted me to learn grace, so that's something I struggle with. So I do the Kabbalistic cross, I have Aniel there, I say my prayers, and he's trying to help me to elevate that and really, not meditation, but to feel grace, to somehow, I have felt it in my heart, complete peace. And this is not like that when you are with your HEA and you are connected to everything like this. This is more like grace is something connecting above that. So for me, at least, my understanding of grace is that that is something that I never really felt worthy of even trying to do. And then Vevalia told me that I should learn to practice it. Since it's completely focused on God, it's not focused on anything in this reality here. I just and get that lift and feel the love, the awe. I got a lot still yet to learn about grace. But that's how it goes for me. So So not everything is learned so easily, and I am so happy to all you new subscribers and all you who are sending me questions, and I'm trying to answer them as best as I can. But sometimes I might get a notification that there is a comment, and YouTube sometimes, when I click back into YouTube Studio, the comments has disappeared. So that is a problem, and when I put on allow all comments, that's when all the comments shut down. So they look at the comments before they let them post them. So if I haven't answered, that means that I haven't seen it in YouTube Studio. That's where I can get the black and read it in white, otherwise my eyesight is a little bit bad. So that was all for now, and can you think it's summer solstice coming up, and then I will get longer nights with darkness. I don't even have to switch a light on to get a glass of water now. The sun sets for about 4 hours, but it's like a twilight thing, so there is no real darkness. Even if I pull down the shades, it's still light coming through. So, and that means that there is winter solstice for you in the southern hemisphere, all of you. So I will do a full-blown summer solstice ritual since it's the sun, Michael. So if anybody wants to chat about if we should do something together or some ideas what you want to do, so I will do something on what you want me to do, or otherwise I just do it what I usually do on a summer solstice. So and that is Michael. And have a magical day. Bye for now.